Okay, today's date is the 4th January 2016. This is Julfikar Sain Chaudhary and I'm going to conduct your speaking test. First of all, to be familiar with you, I'd like to ask you some questions about yourself. Can you first tell me your full official name
My full official name is Ifreet as it appears on my passport.
and what name do you want me to call you?
You can call me by Ifreet.
Okay, Ms. Ifrit. Are you a student or you're doing a job?
I am currently a student. I go to Kansas Technical School and College, and I'm in my second year of college.
Okay. And do you live in a house or in an apartment?
I live in a house. The house that I live in is situated in Agrabad area, and it is a very old house because my grandfather, when he moved from India, came here, and it is almost like 36 years old.
What's the benefit of living in a house than an apartment?
There are actually many benefits that I would personally say. Living in a house, you don't have to be dependent on anyone. For example, you don't have to be dependent on the guard to turn on the generator when the electricity runs out. In the same way, you don't have to be dependent on a lift because it can be like a two-story building like I live in, and it's just easier for you to communicate with people.
Okay. What do you like to do when you are off?
When I'm off, I like to either watch TV or listen to some music.
Okay. Do you like reading?
I occasionally read. It depends on my mood, but yeah, I do read a lot.
Why?
The reason that I read during my leisure is to get rid of the monotony of work. Usually, I'm just so indulged in textbooks that I rarely get time to read stories. So at that time, I try to go through books. Most of the times, I would read to my younger cousins because I enjoy those type of comic books and cartoon character books.
Can you tell me about a book you have read recently?
Well, actually, the book that I have read recently was the one that I read to my younger cousins. It's called Jack and the Beanstalk, that we are all familiar with. So what happens in that story is there is a guy named Jack who sold off his cow to a random stranger for some magic beans. And his mother got very angry at him. She was infuriated at the fact that he just sold off an entire cow.
Okay, and do you think we should have the ability of telling the story?
I believe that you should have the ability to tell a story because when you tell a story to someone, they are able to visualize it. Instead of if you just tell them a statement that I went to the market, they'll be like, okay, it can be any general market. Otherwise, if you just tell them I went to Mim supermarket or I went to the supermarket, it would be more easier for them to visualize.
Right. Well, so when do you like to tell stories to your cousins? In the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening?
Well, most of the time that we're spending together is during the afternoon because both our parents are away at work. So they take a nap and they usually ask me to read them a story or two.
Right. And do you like to go to sleep early or stay up till late?
I do not have a choice on that, honestly. I just have to stay up late because there's just so much of work and I believe 24 hours a day is not enough for me.
How do you feel in the next morning after staying up late?
Horrendous. I regret it. But it's just how life is. You grow up and there are just more responsibilities that you have to cope up with.
Well, thank you very much. Now I'm going to give you a card. On the card you'll find a topic. You'll also find some kind of questions. Based on that, you have to prepare a talk for 1 minute. Then you will have 1 minute time to take notes. Your topic is talk about a new skill.
Thank you.
Okay, would you like to start now?
Yes, sure. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about a certain skill that I would want to acquire in the future. This is very embarrassing as it comes out, but I do not know how to swim. And there has been a lot of situations that it kind of just ruined the fun for me. For example, I went to the swimming pool of Hotel Agrabad once to hang out with my friends. And all of them just changed into their swimsuit and jumped up in the pool to chill. They were having the time of their lives swimming from one side to another. While me, I was just sipping on my juice, sitting beside and just regretting that, oh my gosh, what have I done my whole life that I didn't learn how to swim. I believe that swimming is not just shouldn't just be learned for fun. It is an amazing form of exercise. It keeps you fit, it tones your body, it makes you use all parts of your body, like the muscles are toned, it becomes more stronger. So it helps you in keeping fit.
Well, let's discuss about the topic. Do you think skills such as cooking are necessary for children to learn?
Yes, it is very necessary for children to learn. Obviously, you won't just expect a child to learn how to cook from, I don't know, the age of 5. But at a certain age, like for example 13 or 15, whenever they start hitting the age, I believe that they should learn the realities that they need to face in life. They should be prepared to tackle every problem, such as what if you don't have a maid all of a sudden? You should be ready to heat your own food and clean your own dishes. In the same way, you shouldn't always be dependent on your parents to do your clothes or always to keep your shoes in the rack. So those things, those certain type of skills should be taught to childhood from a very good age.
Okay. Can you describe the skills provided by the schools in the past and now?
In the past and now, there have been certain similarities and certain dissimilarities among what schools provide to children as skills. Back in those days, school was just so bounded in 4 walls or in an open field, for example. They would just educate you, you would learn, you would just jot those notes down from the board. But nowadays, you learn more than just learning skills or communicating skills. You would go out and you would learn more about how to live the real life. For example, you would go on a community service trip and you'd learn how to help people in need. In the same way, some schools even have swimming classes. So they would teach them how to swim, which I wish I had in my school.
Okay, are skills necessary in primary school?
Skills? Are you talking about coloring skills? Then that would be very important. Well, other than that, you shouldn't be socially awkward. So I believe the teachers should teach their primary students how to be able to open up to the teachers or the parents. They should learn from a very early age that it's never good to keep everything hidden or secretive. And in this way, they would not only learn how to communicate with each other, they would also learn to be open and inviting to others.
Well, thank you very much. This is over.